happening, people? Happy Tuesday. I was about to say Thursday, but it's not Thursday because that would mean Man United are playing, and they're not. So it's a good day. Big up to everyone locked in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. You know what it is, man. Another day, another daily dose of Mina. And boy, do we have quite a few stuff to talk about of interesting news, I would say. Ramsdale links. What the hell is going on? Semenyo links. That's quite unusual. Onana potentially looking for a move to Saudi. We're going to talk about his future. We're going to talk about Ruben Amorim. We're going to talk about Benjamin Sesko. We're going to talk about Liam Delap. And we're just going to talk about the Lyon game on Thursday. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button, like I said, and be sure to subscribe as well if you're new here. Big up to Kadeem, says hello, Min. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Minus the allergies. You know, this time of year I have really bad allergies, so I just feel like I've got a cold all the time. But outside of that, I'm doing good. Big up Broderick in the chat as well. How has everybody been? Before we actually get into the I was going to say the boring stuff, but it's not really the boring stuff. It's what we're here to talk about. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, the details, transfer talk, etc., let me know how you lot been doing. Champions League on today. Let's quickly actually talk about that second leg for Dortmund versus Barcelona, PSG versus Aston Villa. Is it safe to say potentially that both legs are over? I do think the Barcelona leg is over, just because I don't think Dortmund have much firepower in their team, given how poor they've been in the league this season, and in the Champions League they've not been that great, despite the fact that they were able to qualify and get this far. I just feel like Barcelona is too strong of a team, both defensively, both attacking, and I do think that they will go out strong. Barcelona will go out strong. So I think that tie is over. The PSG Aston Villa tie is an interesting one, because if Unai Emery goes toe-to-toe with I don't think Aston Villa can go toe-to-toe with PSG. I don't think their attack is as good as PSG's one. I think Aston Villa have to be near enough to flawless for them to even try and get 2 goals against PSG, if I'm being honest. However, with saying that, I praise PSG a lot, and I praise Luis Enrique, but I'll always say that there is 2, I think, weak factors in the PSG team, and that's Donnarumma. Marquinhos, I don't want to be too heavy on Marquinhos, but I think Donnarumma is a weak factor for the PSG team. I actually think they could move him on in the near future and find a better goalkeeper if they want to have like a starting elite 11. But I'm going with PSG for that leg, and I'm going with Barcelona for that one. PSG will get the first goal, and that's it. Yeah, I don't think PSG need to try and go for 2-3 goals. I think they rested or tried to rest most of their team over the weekend. They've already won the league. They're looking to go invincible there. I just have one thing to say though, guys, because I saw last week before the game on TNT Sport, Prince William was talking about, I think he's a big Aston Villa fan. If you guys don't know, Prince William is a big Aston Villa fan, and I just laughed when I saw the clip online, because everyone was praising him for his football talk and everything. But when is he qualified to speak about football? Because that's what people say when they see me on TV. They say, they say, is she qualified to talk about football? What's the difference between me and him? Bar the fact that obviously he's the king. He's the soon-to-be king. Eventually, he's going to be king of this country. But from football talk, what's the difference between me and him? We're both just fans talking about football. But everybody was praising him for his opinion and his thought process. And obviously, he's a big Villa fan. But anyway, that's the first thing that when I saw that clip on TNT, I was like, whoa. What happened to the ex-professionals? Because that's what people always say online, that they want to see ex-professionals talking about football, and nobody's talking about football. And yet everybody was praising William for his analysis of Aston Villa, which I thought was fundamentally, if you are a football fan, I think you can say everything he said. I don't think there was anything special, but maybe I'm a hater. But anyway, that's the 2. And tomorrow's games, I think Inter will see it out. I'm not convinced Bayern Munich under Vincent Kompany. I don't know what it is. I'm just not convinced by them. I know that they could potentially go on to win the league. And I think they've been all right throughout the actual, throughout the Champions League. I know they've been quite decent. But I just think an Inzaghi-led Inter team defensively is just too good. It's just too good. And the fact that, shout out to Inzaghi in it, because he's bringing back something that I love so much in football, which is a 2-man strike partnership. He's bringing that back with Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. If you lot remember the goal that they actually combined to score last week. I think they're missing DeMarco, but they got Bastoni, who for me has been one of the best centre-backs in Europe as well. They got Dumfries, who I think is good. They got Barella. They've got a very good team. And Bayern Munich got Elise. I just think with that back line, there's mistakes in there. Manuel Neuer is not playing this week. Apparently, he's out. Kim Min-jae is just error-prone, it seems. I'm just not convinced with Bayern. And personally speaking, I don't want Bayern to go through. I don't know why. Again, I'm not a hater, but I don't want Bayern Munich to go through. I want to see Inter versus Barcelona. I think that will be the better matchup for football-wise, just because I feel like Barcelona, when I watch them in La Liga, when they come against low-block teams, they struggle to break them down to an extent, but it will be different because of the low block that Inter can play, but they can still hit you on the counter against Barcelona's high line. I think that will be a great showing for football. So I want to see Inter go through. Real Madrid versus Arsenal. Anybody here hoping for a Real Madrid comeback? Because just for the sake of laughing at Arsenal fans, I want Real Madrid to come back. But if we're being honest, who deserves to go through? Real Madrid have been poor throughout the Champions League. Like, I don't know how people can say, like, I debate with people all the time about Real Madrid this season. Real Madrid have been a shadow of themselves. You know, you got the front line with Mbappe. Vinny has not been good this season. Like, when are we going to have an honest conversation about Vinicius Junior's fall off post Ballon d'Or? You see, post Ballon d'Or, I expected him to go on a rampage. I expected Vinicius to be so rattled by losing out to Rodri to a point where he boycotted the Ballon d'Or, and everybody boycotted the Ballon d'Or from Real Madrid. I expected him to blow up. Not literally, but figuratively. I expected him to go off. And he's been poor. And I don't want to be too heavy and say it's post-Ballon d'Or, because I actually think it's post-injury. He had an injury crisis. I think he was injured end of November, December times. And since then, he's been okay. He's got like double-digit goals, and, you know, he's contributing to assists. But if you're looking at it in the grand scheme of things, of the level of what you expect from Vinicius, I don't think he's been that great this season. I genuinely don't. And that's why I would put him in terms of top 10 attackers in Europe. So I'm talking strikers, I'm talking wide players. He would just about make my top 10. He would just about make my top 10. Maybe more so because there's not that many clinical left wingers in Europe, or top level left wingers. But I don't know, man. I want to see Real Madrid go through, but also I'm tired of this Real Madrid heritage Champions League thing. Sometimes they deserve to get slapped up, but not at the expense of Arsenal. Like, it's like a lose-lose situation. It's like, I want them to go out and I want them to get humiliated in the Champions League. But equally, with saying that, I don't want it to be Arsenal to be the ones that do that. But with saying that, the Bernabeu Champions League night, anything is possible. So I'm not writing that off yet. But with saying that, I think Arsenal have found a game plan to beat them. I think Arsenal will go there with a kind of defensive, you know, like that game against City last season, and they walked away with a draw. I think they will look to kind of lock down defensively and just see it out. And Real Madrid against low block teams in, again, La Liga this season has been a spooky watch. I think they've struggled more so than Barcelona have against low block teams, just about getting past them. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll definitely be interesting to see. But listen, we got so much to talk about. Let's start with Ruben Amorim. Make sure you hit the like button if you've just come through. I apologize if I sneeze a lot, guys, on stream. It's just my allergies today have been so bad. It's been so bad. And it's not even that warm outside, but over the last week or so, yeah, my allergies have been horrid. But let's talk about Ruben Amorim. Because I've seen this discourse a lot online over the last couple of days, and I think it was inevitable after the Newcastle game for fans to start questioning the path that Manchester United are going down under Ruben Amorim. I think inevitably it was going to happen off the back of a loss, and a loss in that manner where Newcastle, let's be honest, I think Newcastle could have beat United more if they were like in gear 5, gear 6. But 6 wins in 21 Premier League games is not good enough. Like, we have to be honest. 6 in 21 is not good enough. But equally with saying that, in that same breath, we cannot put heavy blame on the manager and again allow the players to get a free hit or get a free run. because I think there's only so much a manager can do. I've seen people saying, the manager needs to do more with these players. I don't know what he could possibly do more than what he's doing right now, other than dropping everybody and just simply playing academy players. Like, I generally don't know what else. And let me know if you have some thoughts on that. I don't know what else Ruben Amorim could possibly do that he's not doing right now to get more out of these players. The only other thing I can imagine that he could do is go play 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it. Play a back four, 2 sitting midfielders, comfortable. That is the only thing that I can see him doing. But when Ruben Amorim came into Manchester United, he told us, he warned us, he said he will not change. From match day 1 against Ipswich, he will not change his back three philosophy. Now, the only thing I can say that I've noticed, that we've gone more so from playing as a back three to more of a back five, both in build-up and in defensive transition. And I can't put that on the manager, because sometimes I look at the players and I feel like if you look at what the wing-back positions were at Sporting and look at the natural wing-back positions at Manchester United, you can see at Man United, we're playing a lot more pragmatically with this back five. This back five. We're playing a lot more pragmatically. Everyone is a lot more closer to each other. The wing-back wants to be a lot more closer to the wide centre-back. They don't want to be near the midfielders because that puts them more into an attacking role. I'm going to pick at Diogo Dalot, for instance. He's not a wing-back. I think we knew that after the first couple of games of him playing wing-back. He's not a wing-back. But I think he could play as a full-back. But unfortunately, I think Man United will find themselves in a position this summer, where if players cannot play in the position that the manager needs, they might look to sell them on. And that includes the wide players. That includes, players that play as wide wingers, in comparison to, needing inside forwards, quotation marks, inside forwards. You can't coach making a 5-yard pass to a pro footballer. Where do you think that comes from for these players in particular? Because a lot of the time when I'm watching the players, I don't know if it's incompetence. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if it's just erraticness. I don't know if it's everything. Because sometimes players look like they can ball out, and then other times they look like they cannot pass to their nearest teammate. And I also think a big thing is like when there's unease in the team, I feel like it shows within the squad or the starting 11. For example, the whole thing with Onana against Lyon, right? The spookiness or the nervousness and the shakiness reflected in the team in Newcastle. It reflected in that. Bayinder's involvement as a result of the errors that Onana made, and not only the errors that he made at Lyon, but being completely dropped from the matchday squad, you can see the shakiness in the back line. Mazraoui's making errors. Lindelof is just being Lindelof. Diogo Dalot defensively is struggling. Harry Amasa, I liked his involvement, but again, he's still young. That's his first start for United, and he's got a lot to grow. But the talent is there, and positive signs are there. But sometimes I'm curious, and I want to know, because I've seen people saying Amorim out. I've seen people that I follow on Twitter or on TikTok, etc., saying that they want the manager to go, that this is unacceptable, that he hasn't put his fingerprints on the team. But I'm also curious because back in September, October, the general consensus amongst everyone was that the players were bad. So if Erik ten Hag couldn't get a tune out of them, and I think with Erik ten Hag, he couldn't get a tune out of them because of his stubbornness to his approach. So if that's the case, 6 months or so, damn, it's been 6 months of Ruben Amorim football. 6 months of Ruben Amorim football. Progressively, you could say Manchester United have gotten worse. And Marcel was saying this yesterday on United View. He said that it's good that it's getting worse. And I actually kind of agree with him, because I think it shows blatantly the problems, not just in the squad, but overall at Manchester United. You had a January transfer window where Manchester United failed to make any signing barred Patrick Dogu, despite the fact that they let multiple attacking players leave. Then Ahmad gets injured. Now Xerxes gets injured. You're now stuck with Højlund Garnacho. That's it. I'm not counting Bruno as an attacking player because for me, Bruno is a midfielder. So I'm not going to count him, despite the fact that he's United's highest goal scorer this season. So there is negligence in the Manchester United camp above Ruben Amorim, if you want to say that. You could also talk about the targets, the transfer targets, and this Ineos structure. It seems like Manchester United are approaching this Brighton Chelsea model of signings. If that's the case, no thank you. I don't want any part of that. This is the first time in a long time we have a manager that actually wants to change and play actual football, not just sit back and run football. He's showing us how behind we are. That is valid. That is definitely valid. I think Ruben Amorim this season has come into Manchester United just to teach them how to just hold on to the ball or try and hold on to the ball. All the other fancy parts of the football, I think, that he wants to play will come with eventually the players that he needs. However, with saying that, I am a bit skeptical. I will be very honest. I'm skeptical about buying specific players for a specific system and selling players because they don't fit a specific system. Unless this system, this back three, is the future of Manchester United football. If you're telling me that even after the 2.5 years of Ruben Amorim's contract, that we're going to hire another manager that plays back three, okay, cool. Okay. But if you're telling me that there's a slight possibility, even the slightest possibilities, that Manchester United could look to revert to playing traditional back four with, say, a 4-4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or something like that, after you have just gotten rid of a bunch of players and brought in a bunch of players suited for a specific style, then I feel like that's going to set Manchester United back again. That's going to set Manchester United back. And that's why I say there's this point here, someone here. Realistically, Amorim has up until December, results-wise. He cannot be below top 10 in December for real. This is another thing. I've seen a lot of people saying, give him a summer transfer window, and if he's, still not working by December, Christmas, sack him. But then are we not just in the same position that we were with Erik ten Hag in terms of the fact that they gave him a summer transfer window? They actually gave him an extension, and then they sacked him a couple of months later, despite the fact that they had the thought in their mind to sack him. I think if you are going to give Amorim this summer transfer window, you back him wholeheartedly for his 2-year contract. It's 2 years, guys. It's 2 years. And I also don't think it's going to get completely better in six months' time. I don't think United will be a top, they won't be title challengers next season. I don't think so. I think if Man United are challenging for Europe next season, then that is a progressive improvement from what has been this hellhole of a season. But that also takes into consideration the fact that next season, Amorim would have had one preseason with the squad, one transfer window with the Manchester United organization, and would have had one transfer window to get certain players out of the door. I don't know if people expect a complete 180 to go from finishing 17th or 16th or 15th or wherever we finish, and then in 9 months' time, contending for a title. I don't think that's going to happen. I do not think that's going to happen. But I do think Amorim, people might not agree with me, I do think Amorim might have been a stopgap manager, a manager to come in and just steady the ship. And the reason why I'm saying that is maybe because I'm a bit, I'm a bit disheartened when he got that 2.5-year deal, because essentially that for me didn't scream anything but, okay, work experience. Come in, get half of the season, just try and finish up to a European spot or win the Europa League. And then you get 2 seasons after that. That is not for me any groundbreaking stuff. Let's be honest. It's not groundbreaking stuff. But I think it gives you enough time as a structure and an organization, the football heads that they put into place. I think that gives them enough time to figure out whether he's the guy that they want to go. Because let's be honest, Omar Barada said the goal is by 2028 to compete for a title. Is that going to happen? Be realistic. Let's be honest. Say yes or no in the chat, guys, if you lot think it will happen. By 2028, United will be competing for a title. Maybe it's the negative Nancy in me. Maybe it's I'm being a bit pragmatic. Maybe I'm being a bit reserved. But I can't look at United right now and think under Ineos, with the way Ineos have been doing stuff over the last 12 months, yeah, United can be contending for a title in 2.5 years' time. That's basically the length of AMORIM's title. AMORIM is the building block of a new United. With him, you know, someone who can build from nothing. You're hoping maybe he might pull a rabbit out of the hat and do something. But even if he doesn't, you won't be mad at it because he did what he was here to do. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. If you just look at, look at our record over the last, it hasn't actually been that bad. That's the thing, but it just feels bad. When you look at, from February, Leicester win, Tottenham loss, Everton draw, Ipswich win. And to be honest, these were all just about wins. Just about wins. Lose to Fulham, we lost to Fulham, sorry. Draw with Sociedad, draw with Arsenal, wallop Sociedad, beat Leicester, lose to Forest, and then we went on to draw to City, draw to Lyon, and then lose to Newcastle. I don't think on paper that's the worst result. But I do feel sorry for Bruno Fernandes, guys. I actually feel sorry for Bruno. And I know some of you are going to say, why do you feel sorry for him? He's the one that decided to stay. He's got no aspirations. He's, part of the problem. I do feel sorry for Bruno because he's wasting his best years. He should have left. If he legit had offers in the summer transfer window and he chose to get a little bumper contract at Manchester United, he's an idiot. But he could actually go down, in his career, possibly as never winning a league title. I laugh at, by the way, Ibrahimovic for never winning a Champions League, because there's some great players out there that have never won the Champions League. Bruno Fernandes, imagine he finishes his career having never won a league title. You tell me the best honours you got is an FA Cup. Madrid could do with him, honestly. I definitely think, a deep lying playmaker next to a Camavinga or a Tchouaméni, they could definitely do with him. But let's get into transfer talk before we get back to talking about Ruben Amorim. Anthony has made it clear that he does not want to return back to Manchester United and he wants to stay at Real Betis. The Spanish team are in talks with Manchester United about extending the loan deal. Also, they will not pay $500,000 loan fee that they were meant to pay to Manchester United for Anthony this season because he's made more than a certain number of appearances. I think it was 15 appearances that he's made. And he's having good impact at Betis. I know, guys, I'm not gonna lie. If you look online about Anthony during his loan spell, you would think he's the flipping second coming of Cristiano Ronaldo. The way that the internet speaks about his loan spell is ridiculous. But for those of you who watch La Liga and you watch Betis, or you've watched Betis against, teams like Real Madrid before he joined, and then now when he has joined and they come up against top teams, you'll see a slight difference in the team, 100%. But he's not the flipping second coming of Messi and Ronaldo if they had a baby, People making it out like he is. And Musso has been trolling on the Straight Jacket podcast saying that Anthony revived Isco's career. Isco was balling out before Anthony joined at Real Betis. Again, guys, there is a whole world of football outside of the Premier League. I encourage you to watch it. I encourage you to check it out because trust me, you will be more entertained. The Premier League for me is done right now. There's nothing like my brother's getting married on the weekend and I'm going to miss a whole weekend of a whole Saturday of Premier League football. And guess what? I don't care. If this was me a couple of months ago, I would have been mad. I would have been like, 3 p.m. kickoff. I need to watch it. Let's look at the games on the weekend. I genuinely don't care about the Premier League. If anything, I'm more upset that I'm going to be missing out on a Barcelona game and Atletico Madrid versus Las Palmas. I'm more annoyed at that. Also, there's not really any good Premier League games on the weekend. Maybe Brentford versus Brighton, but there's barely any decent football on. Man United women are playing at 12 p.m. I can't do a watch along for that, unfortunately, because I have to go to my brother's marriage. But Mina prioritizing football over family. I've done it many times. Do you know how many family gatherings I have missed because I got to shoot or because I got to record some content or I got to do a watch along or do a live stream? A lot of stuff. But this weekend, family comes first. And I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even mad about it. So like I said, if you don't want to watch football, please watch football outside of the Premier League. Let me ask you guys a question. What did you think of Bayinda's performance against Newcastle? What did you guys think about Bayinda's performance against Newcastle? Because Tom Heaton has announced that... Tom Heaton hasn't. Fabrizio Romano has announced that Tom Heaton will leave in the summer alongside Johnny Evans. And I've seen people calling for Tom Heaton to start against Lyon. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? You're asking for Tom Heaton, the guy who's probably played like one pre-season game a year at his time at United. You want him to play because you think Bayinda's that bad. He done okay. Done okay. Yeah, I think the thing is, you can't say he done okay for a team that conceded 4 goals. But if you look at the goals that United conceded, one was his problem, one was his error, and all the rest, your defenders have to do better. Your defenders have to do better. However, I think people expected him to come in and just be this exquisite, amazing goalkeeper. The guy barely plays for his national team. He barely plays. Like, the standards should have been on the floor. And also, can I say that even with Onana being dropped, that is an added pressure to Bayinda. AMORIM is not helping Bayinda in that sense because he's putting added pressure on. Bear in mind, there's nothing to play for in that Newcastle game. And there's reports suggesting that Ruben Amorim still has not made up his mind about who to start on Thursday. Sources confirm that Andre Onana is also unsure whether he will be recalled to the starting lineup. It's thought Ruben Amorim could persist with Altay Bayinda. And I think if that's the case, and he does persist with Altay Bayinda, I think that's Onana's future at Manchester United done. I really do think that. And I also think that, I think his future at Man United. You don't pull up to Carrington the day after you were dropped from the starting 11 with your agent, like, to do what? That's like me getting, when I used to get in trouble in like Islamic classes and that, but I knew that I wasn't in the wrong, and I knew the teacher's picking on me. I'd pull up the next day with my mom after I just told my mom some stuff at home, and my mom's on smoke, and she's coming to tell off the teacher. That's what Onana did. He pulled up to Carrington with his agent Monday morning, bright and early. They're saying this to talk about a new deal. The only deal should be to rip up the one that he's got right now. That is the only deal that he should be coming to Carrington to talk about. There's no way he should be coming to talk about anything else. But I do think, I said this on UV yesterday, that his new agent that he signed with is quite good at getting deals to Saudi for his clients. Be thankful you didn't get beat with a stick in Islamic class and that you could pull up with your mom. The Islamic schools that I used to go to, they wouldn't dare touch the girls. They wouldn't dare, because the girls would fight back. They wouldn't dare to touch us. I never went to an Islamic school where they hit us. I went to one where they tried to hit me once, and my sister weren't having it. So I don't agree with people getting hit in Islamic school. I think that generation is kind of gone with what I see now with Islamic schools. Back in the day, I used to see like the teachers telling the boys, like, go pick a stick from the tree. Imagine you're going to pick the stick that you're going to get your ass whooped with. That's crazy. I don't care who starts, they're both crap. It's true. I just definitely feel like with Onana, is no matter what it is, I'm just that I said this ages ago, I'm uneasy with him in goal. And you know what annoys me the most? I think, lose or win against Lyon, I think he should be dropped indefinitely. Do you know why I think he should be dropped indefinitely? Because he got into this little altercation with Matic. I'm not even mad about that. I told you lot the day that it happened. I wasn't even mad about that. What bothered me the most, rather than on the pitch keeping your head down, you're taunting the fans. You yourself, you are mentally fragile. You've got Weetabix hands. Your hands are made of Weetabix. Yeah? So you know you got a mistake in you. And yet you think it's not only a good idea to come out early before the game and stare the crowd down, but when United went 2-1 up, you think it's a good idea to taunt them as well. And that is for me where I question your experience / professionalism. Because that's the last couple minutes of the game. You should have your head screwed on to be like, you know what, I cannot afford to lose concentration. And to be honest, that second goal that when Ryan Cherki scored, there was multiple chances or stoppages that United should have got before the shot even came from Mikatadze. There was multiple times that players should have got a stop. But he couldn't count on his own players. And that is why I give that as an example, because even the Newcastle game, Mazraoui makes a mistake. Yeah. Mazraoui makes a mistake and he slips. He can't even rely on his own teammates like Eriksen, like Lindelof, to get a stop on Harvey Barnes and basically make up for his mistake. Because that's what you're meant to do as a team, right? Your teammate makes an error and you're meant to step up for them and cover that error for them. But in this team, we cannot do that. I don't think people realize this is a common occurrence. Like Onana, yes, he makes mistakes. But sometimes the mistakes shouldn't even get to that mistake, because there you see multiple opportunities of stoppages, but people are not able to intervene because we cannot cover for each other. I'm saying we, but I'm talking about the team. They cannot cover for each other. And that is another problem. I think maybe we can say mentality for this team. That is another problem that we have. Onana is never turning it around. He cannot save low shots or hold on to bouncing balls, crosses straight at him. I remember every time I've been to Old Trafford, guys. I've been to Old Trafford quite a lot since Onana joined Manchester United, yeah. Every time that I've been, I just see him practicing passes. I'm like, bro, please let me on to the warm-up field. Let me just shoot at you and you can practice saving. Why are you always practicing passing? Why? And he comes out like 10-ish minutes before everybody else comes out. So they practice passing. And they practice some shot stopping, but it's predominantly passing that they practice. Remember when Bayenda did well in the Carabao FA Cups? He can perform what? Bro, we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup because of Bayenda. Come on. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup because of him. But also, I don't think Man United have ever utilized, over the last couple of years, should I say, I don't think United have utilized their number 2 goalkeeper maybe as much as we did historically. For example, you remember Sergio Romero. He was guaranteed to start cup games, always, right? Bayenda never started until Onana went to AFCON, and that was just, by chance. So you're throwing them in irregular games. Whereas had he been United's cup goalkeeper, confidence would have helped. Regular football would have helped, because he's not playing, and he's not playing at an international level. He's not he gets call-ups to Turkey, but he ain't playing on a regular basis for Turkey. So you're surprised now when he comes in to play 90 against Newcastle because you want to make him, the manager wants to make an example out of Onana, and then he's got a mistake in him. It's inevitable. The real question mark should be on the number 1 goalkeeper. You know what? Onana was a red flag when we signed him. We signed him as a number 1 goalkeeper, and he chose to wear 24. That's questionable. That's questionable. I love the number 24 as well. That's probably one of my favorite. That's like my 3rd favorite number. Why do I have 3 favorite numbers? That's so weird. But yeah, 24 is one of my favorite numbers. But still, number 1 goalkeeper and you're wearing number 24. Questionable. But I do think traditional, like when you look at Onana on the eye, he makes unconventional saves. Very, very unconventional saves. He's slow at diving. I think his reflexes are slow. He's not that comfortable, I think, at commanding the box from set pieces. And I just don't think he's a good goalkeeper. All around, I don't think Onana is a good goalkeeper. He wears number 24 because of his birthday. Fairs. He's just like me. On the topic of goalkeepers, by the way, what are your other favorite numbers? My other favorite numbers is 17 is my number 1 favorite number. My 2nd favorite number is 45. And then my 3rd favorite number is 24. Very random numbers, by the way. 17 is the day of my birthday. 45. I like 45 just because I feel like if I was a footballer, I'd wear number 45. 45 is also a gun. And then 24, I like 24 because I like Kobe Bryant. And on a slow dive in the Ajax Spurs game, just for Lucas Moura got his hat trick. I saw that clip the other day. of that Lucas Moura last minute winner, and I just watched Onana. I was like, what the hell? On the topic of goalkeepers, too, I can't believe this is actual news. I can't believe this is actual news, guys. Aaron Ramsdale is among the names of Manchester United's list of goalkeeping targets as they target 2 goalkeepers this summer. I can't believe this. But you know what? If Manchester United's goal is relegation, like to put the final nail in the coffin, Ramsdale, bring him. If you want to get relegated. If you want the final nail in the coffin of relegation, bring this guy to Manchester United. Wallahi, I'm not joking. If United sign Ramsdale, I am Ineos out. Well, I've never been Ineos in, so it doesn't matter if I'm Ineos out. But if Manchester United sign Aaron Ramsdale, I'm going to protest day in, day out outside of Carrington. The brother said he loses concentration. Yeah, he said he can't concentrate. I think he said he got ADHD. Which I'm not judging him for that. I'm just judging him for the fact that he came out and said it. He said he loses concentration during games. And you know what's so funny? Is there's some people out there that hate Onana so much that they think this would be a good signing. I would rather take Kepa at Bournemouth than I would take Aaron Ramsdale. I would rather take Kepa than Aaron Ramsdale. You know who's a good goalkeeper? The Brighton goalkeeper. We were linked to him, but he'll cost an arm and a leg. Around the Premier League, I don't think United will sign any goalkeepers. I think the Brentford keeper, Flecken, is a good keeper. I think Sells is a good keeper at Forest, but I don't think any of them will. I don't think United will be able to buy from any of those Premier League teams unless it's for some extortionate price tag. So unless they're going to go out to other European destinations to look for players, I'm one of those people. The dislike for Onana is so strong for some people, I swear, that they would rather have Aaron Ramsdale, which I find shocking sometimes. I find that quite shocking sometimes. Is there anyone in Spain? Not that stands out to me. I think the best goalkeeper in Spain has been it's been Oblak or Courtois. So they ain't coming to Manchester United. I take James Trafford. I see a lot of people talking about James Trafford. I saw that he had those run of clean sheets. I saw he had those run of clean sheets. I'm not too sure on James Trafford personally. But equally with saying that, at this point, beggars can't be choosers. Wasn't James Trafford the guy that saved the pen in the under-21s World Cup when England won it? Right? Am I right? The Ipswich goalkeeper, that's another name, yeah? That's another name I've seen people saying. Chevalier from Lille is quality. He is, yeah. Chevalier is good. He's good. I just feel like United don't shop in League One enough. I'm talking about the French league. I just feel like they don't shop there enough for the amount of talent that sits in that league. So maybe they should start checking over there. Are Burnley going to sell James when they're going to be promoted? Are they going to be promoted? I don't even know what the championship table looks like right now. Let me look what the table looks like. Oh, yeah, they are on their way to promotion. Ooh, Burnley are on the Leeds as well. Oh, my God, they're tied on points. They are tied on points. I hope Sunderland comes up. I got a soft spot for them ever since Amad Diallo went there. I got a soft spot for them. On the topic of Bournemouth, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen this. David Ornstein reporting on NBC last night that Ruben Amorim is very fond of Semenyo from Bournemouth. However, Bournemouth would want at least £65 million for him. I like Semenyo, but he ain't 65 million. No. And also, can I say, why would United sign a... and this is not me comparing him to Garnacho, but Garnacho is a wide player. Semenyo is a wide player. We cannot fit Garnacho into the team. So what the hell are you going to do with Semenyo unless you're turning him into a wing back? Unless you're turning him into a right wing back or a left wing back. What the hell are we doing with Semenyo? And I like him. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a final product, which is why I think 65 is ridiculous. If they said 30, I would take it. I would take him at 30. Someone said he's not even worth 35. Danny said he's not even worth 35. 30 million, I'd take him. But I just think that if you said to me, you got 60 million to spend, Minna, on a front player from the Premier League, Mbeumo, Semenyo, Cunha, Semenyo would be bottom of my list. Semenyo would be bottom of my list. I don't know, by the way, how nobody... Mbeumo, I'm so shocked. That's the one name I'm not seeing flying around. Mbeumo and Wissa got like 30-something goals combined in the league. I think they've got 30 goals, bang on. Which is very impressive for a team like Bournemouth. And for a team that is living life after Ivan Toney. I do have a strong feeling that Mbeumo and Wissa, I think one of them will leave, and I think it might be Mbeumo. But I just don't see 65 million being spent on Semenyo. It's reported that Al Nassr, it's not just Man United interested in him. He is on the radar of Al Nassr and Arsenal. And like I said, Bournemouth would likely accept a bid. Well, Ben Jacobs, by the way, or Jacobs Ben, whatever the hell his name is, Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs has reported that Bournemouth are looking at accepting a bid in excess of £75 million. Yeah, pounds. Whereas David Ornstein said it's about 65 million is what they're looking at. So there's about 10 million off. I don't know who you guys would trust, but I know who I would trust. And if Al Nassr are actually in for him, and Al Nassr has a habit of taking talent from the Premier League for big fees. Look at Moussa Diaby. They took to Al Ittihad. Then they took Duran recently in the January window. If Bournemouth genuinely want that price tag, it's Al Nassr are paying that, because ain't no way Arsenal paying that when they can get about Nico Williams for about 45-50 million. Man United would be absolutely stupid. I wouldn't have put it past Man United to pay that under Ed Woodward. But they have CR7, Mane and Duran. Yeah, but I think Mane's coming up to the end of his contract, you know. I don't think how long is his contract? Yeah, his contract ends in about a year and a bit. Damn. Mane makes, guys, 33 million a year. No wonder he doesn't want to come back to Europe. What the hell? I don't blame him. Guys, let me ask you a question, yeah, just quickly on the topic of the Saudi League, right? Shout out to anyone who watches the Saudi League. If you had the option of going to Saudi to play for like a good team in Saudi, but it's the Saudi League, so you're just competing in the Asian Champions League, so you're going to play games in like India and Iraq and Iran and these kind of places, and say you play for like Al Ittihad or something like that, so you're contending for the title every year, and you're earning, say, 25 million a year. Yeah, 25 million, tax-free, 25 million a year. Or you play for a team like Aston Villa or Newcastle, where you might win a trophy, you might contend for top 4. You're earning about 130 a week. Somebody do the maths for me. How much is that in a year? That's not much. It's not as much as 25 million. And you're like 24 years old, 25, 26. What are you going to do? For me, it depends on what is my ceiling as a player. Yeah. If I got like high potential and I can get a move to like a Champions League contending team, I'll wait it out. But I can't lie, guys. Football is a small career. That's why I don't judge players. I do not judge players when they move to make money, whether it's to Saudi, whether it's to China, wherever it is, MLS. I do not. I'm gone at 17. You say no age limit. No age limit. You're gone. Yeah, I don't judge players because 25 million, bro, is life changing, not just for you, but for generations to come, man. If I made, forget 25 million, guys, if I made $1 million in a year, that would change my life. Wallahi, that would absolutely change my life. So if anybody wants to give me £1 million, please let me know. Let me know. I'll send you my account details. So 25 million, I would retire my entire family, and no one in my family would have to work unless they want to. I would give my whole family a monthly salary. My siblings would get monthly salaries, you know, more than what they would earn, but not too much. And if they want a job, I'll give them a job. You know, I'd start a business, blah, la di da di da. I was about to say 1 million is all I need. Facts, man. 1 million is all I need. Not only tax-free money, it's a safe country. That's true. It is safe. It is safe. The climate is hot. I'm a black man from Ethiopia. 25 million per year is the GDP of where I'm from. Yeah, that's how I don't judge players, isn't it? I don't judge players. If Semenyo went to Al Nassr, I personally wouldn't judge it. Listen, guys, we got over 60 something people here. Let's try and get a good ratio of likes and views, man. So you don't know the rules, man. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, and you hit the like button. If you want to join the membership club as well, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and of course you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. It goes a very, very long way as a full-time content creator, and it helps me reach the super chat goal for the stream. I have a quick question before we get into Onana news. I'm winning an award next week Thursday, guys. I'm winning an award, so your girl is a award-winning content creator, if you want to say that. Do you guys want to see a vlog of the day, or do you just want to see pictures? Because I just need to know. I have a camera. I got a little pocket camera, a DJI. So I just need to know, do I charge it? Should I make it a members only vlog? So yeah, just a vlog for the similar to the SJA, similar to that. I would just have to make one of my guests. Okay, no, someone said no. That, ouch. Okay. All right, cool. I'll do a vlog if I can remember to vlog the whole night, because it's easy when Josh is there, because Josh's whole job is like his camera is stuck to his hand, so it's very easy to vlog stuff when he's there. Oh no, about the members. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I will try my best to remember to vlog it from start to finish. There will be like blurs in it because I'll have to blur out my family's faces, because my family will be there as well, so I'll have to blur them out. But there's a lot of, by the way, there's a lot of other like creators, presenters, media outlets. I think there's some footballers going to this award. It's gonna be fun. I'm literally getting my outfit made fresh from the tailor that I need to go pick up tomorrow. That's a reminder for myself. And I was trying to find a way to incorporate my traditional wear into it. So I'm trying to figure out still, but I will vlog it. Let's get back to news. Let's get back to transfer news. Laurie Whitwell reporting that the position of a goalkeeper has not been on the agenda for Manchester United up until this point. However, due to the faith in Andre Onana reducing due to mistakes in pivotal moments, there is a feeling around the club that a separation could be explored on both sides. I do think he will leave in the summer transfer window. I saw a report that said that his net book value is about 30 million. Net book value is basically the transfer fee across the year plus his salary. So however much is remaining. So each year, the net book value quotation marks decreases by a certain amount. the same amount because it's spread over the contract year. He's been here for a year and a half. By the end of this financial year, it'll be 2 years. The 2 years of his net book value it would have decreased by his transfer fee. Sorry. So if United can get, I mean, if they can get 40 million for him, whatever buying team have just had their pants pulled down. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think United, Inter Milan, fleeced us. Can I just say that, guys? And I don't think we talk about it enough, how much United got fleeced by Inter Milan. Because they got him for free after his doping allegations. And they made a profit on him. A big profit. And then replaced him with an even better goalkeeper. Only United could help that happen. Only United could help that happen. So I will say that I think this summer we definitely got to keep an eye on this Onana thing. But can I just say, guys, there is no one that Manchester United have signed under Erik ten Hag that I see having a long-term future at the club. That might be a hot take. But there is no one that we signed under Erik ten Hag that I see being here. Fleece us. Under Erik ten Hag, bar this summer. I'm not talking about this summer. I'm talking about the last two summers. Last summer, or last season, should I say? Højlund, Mount, Onana. Nah. The season before that, Eriksen is gone. Cass, Leacher. I think the injuries speak for itself. If I'm being honest, I think Leach is a great player, but you know the rate at that he's been getting injured at the last 18 months, it speaks for itself. This summer, the transfer windows that happened already, the past summer, I think the jury is still out. I think the only person for me that I can comfortably say I think has a future at the club is Mazraoui and Euro. Because there's nothing to say that people aren't going to turn on Zexi again. I think Zexi's a good player, but there's nothing to say that people won't turn on him again. I said this at the time when we signed De Ligt. I said I don't think he's going to be a long-term starting centre-back, but if he's a stopgap for now, I think United can find better in central centre-back. But I do think for depth-wise, for quality and the depth-wise, he's good because he can play on the right side. He can play in the central. But I do hope that United go out and sign another centre-back. I do. I genuinely do. But I do think that, and by the way, two things can coexist, guys. It can be true that De Ligt is a good player, but it is true that we can also sign another centre-back for that position. I don't see Maz lasting, to be honest. He's the only player we can sell for profit, and Ineos will need to sell him within 12 months. That's true. That's true. If United need to make money, they might look to sell him for like 25 million. You know, he might not turn down the chance of going to Saudi. I wouldn't blame him either. Now, a new name that has popped up in this search for a striker is Patrick Schick at Bayer Leverkusen. Manchester United are reportedly monitoring the situation of Patrick Schick. United prefer a younger profile of a striker, but they are also considering Schick as interest. Initial contact has been made, and Bayer Leverkusen would demand up to 30 million euros, which is about 4 million pounds. Now, if you watch Bayer Leverkusen this season in particular, because there's been a difference of Bayer Leverkusen this season and last season, right? A key part of Patrick Schick. Am I saying his right name right? Schick. I think it is like that. I think it is. But a key part of him getting goals and being able to have impact is having wing backs that can put good deliveries in the box. I watched a game, Bayer Leverkusen. I think it was Bayer Leverkusen. It might have been versus Dortmund, or it might have been versus Bayern Munich. I can't remember exactly, but it was a couple of months ago. And I remember watching it because they were up like 3-0 in the first like 25 minutes. And all of the goals came from, and Florian Wirtz was out this game. And I remember all the goals came from their right-hand side, Tapsoba, their right-sided centre-back, balls over the top or starting counter-attacks, pushing it out to Frimpong on the far right side, and bam, putting it on a plate for the striker every single time. You see, do you guys see what I'm trying to get at? United do not have the wing-backs for that. United don't have the wing-backs for that. Now, is he being looked at as an alternative backup option, quality, depth, experience? And does that mean Liam Delap is going to be the other striker that United signed? And is he just another cheap alternative rather than United paying big on Osimhen, Gyökeres, Sesko, another name that I've seen us being linked to? He's experienced. Big up to Chunks, his 42nd cousin. He seems experienced and cheap. I think he's the one. Here it is. Guirassy was there last season. I remember sitting here this time last year on my channel, and a lot of you lot might not have been here then because I didn't have a lot of subscribers. And I remember saying United should sign Guirassy, and people were saying to me, he's injury prone. He's injury prone. He's injury prone. He's not really getting injured now at Dortmund, is he? 17 million euros he was available for. But if we're being honest, Guirassy couldn't even score against Somalia. He could not even score against Somalia in our international break. But that doesn't change the fact that he's scoring at a rapid rate for Dortmund this season in his first year with them. I don't see us getting both Delap and Sheik if we don't get rid of Højlund himself. Come on, man. Don't be mean. Don't call him that. I think Højlund will go. But I also think a lot of Man United's summer transfer window also depends on who they can offload. Merto got a new job. Why is Fabrizio reporting that? Fabrizio, stick to being a transfer reporter, bro. Stick to being a transfer reporter. Former Man United football director has been appointed as Atalanta's new director of global development. Can you help us get Lookman? Can you help us get Lookman? Chris Wheeler, also on the topic of strikers. Have I got a picture here? I do. Chris Wheeler reporting that Manchester United are favourites to sign Liam Delap this season. I think, guys, strap in. Strap in. Because I think Manchester United are signing Delap in the summer. I think Delap is ending up as a United player. Who else? I'm not sure. Generally speaking, who else? I'm not 100% sure in terms of strikers. But I do think that Delap will be the one that United choose to go for. And we might be back here next season, this time next year, talking about how we missed out on Victor Osimhen and all the cute stories. Or it might be completely the opposite. He could, have a good impact for Manchester United. I'd be interested to see him and Xerxes partner up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where will Xerxes stand if United sign Delap and they sign maybe a Cunha. I'm curious to know where they'd stand. Delap makes sense for Chelsea than us. Yeah, he does. But also 30 million for him, I think, is a great signing. 30 million is a great signing for Delap. A great fee. You don't seem too excited. He would have done backflips if we're signing Delap. There's no signing in the world that I can get excited over for Manchester United right now until I think Man United are good again. Like, that's it. Like, there's that's how I feel about signings. I've learned my mistakes in the past of, as Nuruddin would say, getting giddy. Mina, what's your stance on Ruben Amorim? Who's Amorim out in the chat? Who's Amorim out in the chat? Is there anybody that wants Amorim to go? Because I try to look at it from every different perspective. I think a part of me thinks Amorim could walk. A part of me thinks he could get sacked. And a part of me thinks he could stay. That is how confused I am. I'm Amorim ambiguous. If you want to say that. I'm Amorim ambiguous. I don't want him to get sacked, but I could see it happening. I don't want him to leave, but I could see him walking. And I don't want him to leave, but also I could see him staying. And that is how I feel. And the fact that's how I feel about Manchester United right now shows you how confused we can be as fans. Because I said this when he first joined. I said that he might not realize how bad the situation is at Man United until he comes into the doors at Carrington. Mina, can I ask, did you take that X report yesterday about AMORIM seriously when you were on Saeed's channel? Which one's this? The one about him shouting at the players and cancelling the kids' meetup or whatever it was? I didn't take it serious. But I trusted the source because that person has reported some accurate stuff. Do you like my Stanley Cup, by the way? It's so, like, this is the best investment I've ever made. It's not actual Stanley Cup, by the way. It's a bootleg one that I brought from the shop. But this is the best investment if you want to stay hydrated, guys. I got it for £3 from B&M. If anybody wants to get it, I don't know if it's still in stores, because I brought this like a couple of months ago. I bought it in like January, but you can find it anywhere. You can find it in any of the shops. If you don't want to pay £50 for an actual Stanley Cup, the only difference between this and the Stanley Cup is that it flipping says Stanley on it, and that's like a £45 difference. This is the best investment. B&M, you guys need to sponsor me. I love it. Is it a B-Tech version? Yes, it's a B-Tech version, but it gets the job done. I fill it up with my water every couple of hours during the day. It's 1 liter. I think it's 1 liter because a 2-liter water bottle fills this up twice. Is it reusable? Yes, it is. Yes, it's reusable. B&M has all the hidden gems. B&M, guys, do not let me go B&M. That's all I'm saying. Like, I know if I walk into B&M to buy like a couple of snacks, I'm walking out with the maddest stuff, and I'm walking out with £100 spent. So I love B&M. It's my favorite place to go. How much Coke can you fit in that? I don't do drugs. They talk about Coca-Cola. £50 to drink water is mad. It's the hype. It's the hype. That's why people brought the Stanley one. But my sister got a Stanley Cup, right? And she didn't realize that I had a fake Stanley Cup. So I was bragging to her about having a Stanley Cup. And then when she came to my house one day and she saw that it wasn't a real Stanley Cup, she started taking the piss out of me, saying you got a bootleg version. But it's okay. Being hydrated is a mainstream scam. How did our ancestors survive? We need to stop being soft, brother. I don't know about you, but I'm sure my ancestors used to drink water. My ancestors used to drink water and drink camel milk. They never used to drink juice or fizzy drinks and all of that stuff. They used to drink camel milk, water, and tea. Like, come on, man. Oh, B&M and Home Bargains. I've never been to Home Bargains. We don't have Home Bargains here in this part of England. I think Home Bargains is like a northern thing. Minna, I'd like to see you rating United kits from 99 to present. That's a lot of kits. Let me see if I can find a picture of United kits. That's a lot of kits, you know. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, okay. So it's pretty easy. You just go onto this website and you can find it from there. I saw the leaked kit. I can't post it because I've got a good relationship with Adidas. I don't wanna hurt my relationship with Adidas. Let's go back to 1990. All right. My ancestors drank blood. Damn. All right. The stream is going a bit sideways. So before the stream goes sideways, guys, be sure to hit the like button before it goes sideways. Chris Wheeler has posted about Xavi Simons. Let's see what he's saying about it. What is he saying about Xavi Simons? You know, the aggregators are going to aggregate it for us. All right, before we go to the kit stuff, Xavi Simons, this is coming from Chris Wheeler. Xavi Simons has emerged as a target for Manchester United this summer, but will only be able to afford the Dutchman if they qualify for Champions League. Did they just not buy him in the January transfer window? They just paid like 60 million, was it? For him. They just paid for 30th of January. They just signed him. Do you think Leipzig? I'm sorry. If United are going to Leipzig to buy a player, please please buy Lukeba. Please buy Castello Lukeba. If we are looking for a left-sided centre-back, please. Manchester United, do not make that mistake. Do not buy Xavi Simons. Please buy Castello Lukeba. I don't see them selling Xavi Simons after they just brought him. But I would buy this guy from Leipzig. I would 100% buy this guy from RB Leipzig. Bun Simmons. Go Leon, get that brother who cooked us. Which one? Mikatadze or are you talking about? The funny thing is, Lukeba went to Leipzig from Lyon in summer 2023 for like 30 million. Bring Lamine Kamara to the theatre, please. Yallah. That is a dream. That is my dream. If Man United ever sign Lamine Kamara, guys, you guys will not hear the end of it. You guys will not hear the end of it. I will be telling them that they need to hire me as a scout. All right, come. Let's go back to the kits. I'm not going to do 1990. I'm going to start from 90. Let me start from 96, 95, 96. These are given old school. A lot of these are given very old school. But also, I feel like the home kits looked quite similar for a number of years. I'll tell you lot what my favorite kit is. Rather than ranking it, how about I just tell you what my favorite kits are? This is one of my favorite kits. I love this black kit. The goalkeeper kit here. I love a black kit, by the way, for Manchester United. I love a black kit for Manchester United. I feel like, guys, if I'm going to point out a kit and then I'm going to tell you, look, who does it remind you of? I liked when Man United were sponsored by Vodafone, by the way. This era of Vodafone, 01, 02, beautiful. Beautiful. This one, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Easy. This reminds me of Ruud van Nistelrooy easily. But do you see, like, I don't feel like a lot changed in Manchester United's kits year on year, except for maybe like this went from Umbro to Nike, right? But they still look pretty much the same in comparison to the last couple of years, how different the kits look. These continuously just look the same. Roy Keane, this black one here reminds me of Roy Keane. CR7 as well. Wayne Rooney. This one reminds me of Wayne Rooney. A baby Wayne, if you want to say that. Ronaldo and Rooney again. One of my favorite kits. I love this white and gold one. I love this white and gold one. I still haven't got. I used to have it when I was younger, but I need an adult version right now. I love this red one. I got this one as well. Fun story about this kit, guys. Oh shit! You lot can see I got ad blocker. I'm a very bad example of a person right now. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Ugh. Now I have to turn on ad blocker. Just for this one website. Alright, cool. Yeah, this one reminds me of CR7. This kit, I had it and my sister threw it away and I never saw it again. I had to buy it all over again. And I bought it for like $200 at the time in the UAE. I was on holiday there. And then like 9 years later, I had to buy a retro one from like a shop for around the same price because it was like limited edition. Not a fan of home jerseys because everyone buys them. Isn't that the whole point? It's the home jerseys. This run of shirts, amazing, beautiful. All three of them, beautiful. I got this one. Again, CR7. I remember it reminds me of Park, Giggsy, Ronaldo, Tevez. Again, look, but do you see what I mean, guys? The kits don't really change much. 07, 08, 08, 09, the kits look exactly the same. I don't really like these kits. I can't lie. I never really liked the kits that had the thing going down like this. It wasn't really my cup of tea. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I like this one here. And damn, guys, it's raining so much. You see this country, 1 minute it's sunny. The next minute it's heavy raining. This is when United brought back the collars. They brought back the collars. I don't know why Louis Nani comes to mind when I think of this kit. Maybe because that's what the name that I got on the back of my kit of this one. It reminds me of the... Is this the year that we beat Arsenal 8-2? I think that is the year that we beat them 8-2. How do you feel about the Aeon era, especially the Czech ones? Didn't really like it. Didn't really like it. These kits, again, didn't really like. This reminds me of Patrice Evra for some reason. I don't know why. It reminds me of Patrice Evra. No one bought, come on, RVP. Come on. This kit here is RVP's kit. It doesn't remind me of anybody else. And then this is where it just started to go downhill, really. Fellaini, maybe. Maybe these kits remind me of Fellaini. I didn't really like the Aeon kits. I feel like from AIG to Aeon, it was a bit Oh, this reminds me of Di Maria. This reminds me of Fellaini. This reminds me of who else? It reminds me of Di Maria because I got this kit that had Di Maria on the back. I never really liked either collar shirts. One Mata. Yeah, this one reminds me of One Mata. This is the one that reminds me of One Mata. Pogba. This kit reminds me of Pogba here. I think from here onwards, I think I've got a kit from each season. Sergio Romero, that's so random. Falcao, yeah, maybe Falcao. Martial, yes, Martial. Memphis Depay, I hear it. This kit here, I hear it. Memphis Depay. This is Luke Shaw's first season, I think, when he broke his leg at Man United. What about this kit here? Who does this kit remind you of? Why does this remind me of Lingard? Why does this kit, this black one here, why does it remind me of Lingard? So weird. I'm not kidding, guys. If I went to my cupboard right now and I brought out my stack of shirts that are hung up, I have this kit here. I got this kit here. Basically, from here on out, I basically have every shirt. Every home, away, and third. Because of the Lingard. Yeah, maybe because of that. Yeah, the dance. Yeah, the dance at the Emirates. Yeah, probably that's why it reminds me of him. Rashford. Nah, this reminds me of Lukaku. This kit here particularly reminds me of Lukaku. Lakaka. All right, this kit here. This shirt here. You know what it reminds me of, guys? That night in Paris. That's what it reminds me of. That night in Paris. I don't remember anything else from that season, man. Just that night in Paris. Pogba, yeah, this red shirt, Pogba. But this shirt, this season, is that pink shirt just reminds me of that night in Paris. This kit here, I don't even remember this kit. Oh, Dan James. I just remembered when Dan James was celebrating and it was an equalizer that he was celebrating in the last minute and Martial came and yanked him from the back. So he's screaming to his baby. I only have the red one from this row. I think I only got the black one for this one, you know. I don't even think I brought the red one. And I wanted it that year because it was the 99 it was paying honor to the treble winning 99 team. This shirt, this kit here, Cavani, man. Cavani, that front line of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, COVID, Bruno. This is what it reminds me of. That's what it reminds me of. But this specific zebra shirt, Cavani. That specific zebra shirt reminds me of Cavani, man. It specifically reminds me of Cavani. Come on, man. Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. It has to be. This kit has to remind me of Cristiano. You know what's so funny, guys? You lot might actually laugh at me. Wallahi, I'm not joking. I should go get it out of my cupboard right now. I have every kit that says this one, and this one. I have them all, and it says Sancho on the back. All three of them say Sancho on the back. And I got one that says Ronaldo on the back. This is why, by the way, I stopped putting names on the back of my kits. Like, I stopped putting names on the back because how can I fail with all of the last kits that I got? I think since last season, I stopped putting names on the back. Never get kits with names. I've learned my mistake, man. Don't worry. I've learned my mistake. I know someone that brought an Alexis Sanchez kit. What a scrub. Shout out to Lil Yo-Yo because we convinced him last season to buy an Amrabat shirt. But yeah, man, I got so many I got 3 Sancho shirts. I got 1 Ronaldo shirt. The thing is, right, I brought the Ronaldo one because I got a Ronaldo one from 07. So I was like, I have to. Like, he's come back to United. I have to get a Ronaldo shirt. But before that, most of my kits, I used to get Pogba on the back. There was one year I had Di Maria. And before that, I just used to get my surname on the back or just get Minute on the back. But I always used to get the number of the player that I liked. So, for example, when Pogba was at United, because he was my favorite player, I would get number 6. When Luis Nani was at United, he was one of my favorite players. So I'd get 17 with my name on the back. I'd always get the number of the player that I like plus that. Although one of my siblings brought me a football kit once. One of my siblings brought me a football kit and she didn't know what number to put on it. So she put number 9 on it. And I was like, do I look like I like the number 9? Like, what the hell? Come on, man. Put 6 on it next time. And she was like, 9 is 6 upside down. So I said, fair enough. Mina, I also have 2 of the Chinese New Year kits for United. I got a few training gears. Yeah, I got one of the Chinese training gears as well. I'm not gonna lie. The other day I went into a shop and I was looking at the United training gears, but I was like, I don't want to be that person that turns up to places in a full Manchester United kit, like a full tracksuit. That looks a bit weird. We're coming up to the end. Well, like this kit stank. This kit here, oof. I don't think I got that. I got this one here, but I ain't got this one. I didn't really like the collar. I can't lie. This season, I never really liked the collar. Who does this remind me of? Rashford, I guess. Weghorst. Yeah, this is the Weghorst one. Did you check out the bomber jacket yet? Not yet. I haven't. Not yet. McFred. That's true. This is Carabao Cup. The year that we won the Carabao. This is last season. You know what's crazy, guys? I didn't buy a kit last season. I did not buy a Manchester United kit last season. Any of them. I didn't get the home, away, third. I think I was on strike. Last season. But now that I'm looking back, I never really liked them. And last this season, I got all 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, and I got the black goalkeeper kit. Let's be real though, United don't make good kits anymore, man. Look at the old school kit. Like these are this era, 07, 08 times, up until like Vodafone days. This is my favorite. That's my favorite United kits. United don't make kits like that anymore. Man United just don't make kits like that anymore. Good times. Let's go all the way back to the 80s. Can we go back then? Look, am I bugging or do most of those kits look the same? These all look the same. Real Madrid kits are the best. Yeah, United got good kits as well, if we're being honest. United got good kits. Like, I really like the home 23-24 because of the rose designs. I just hope Adidas give us a good kit this season. Like, that's all I'm asking for. Kits weren't updated back in the days. I wouldn't know. I wasn't born then. I'm joking. But it makes sense. Yeah, I don't think they updated kits that often. It was probably every couple of years. Madrid, Bayern, and sometimes Arsenal make great kits. I don't know if you realize, but I think a lot of the goalkeeper kits and like the tracksuits are all similar if you're sponsored by Adidas. So Aston Villa, Arsenal, Man United, they've all got similar tracksuits. I don't know if you've seen, like for Europe, it's those white tracksuits with the emblem. It's all the same. It's just obviously your club emblem. Your club emblem is slightly more different, obviously, than the others, but they're all quite similar. I've seen the leak of the kits for next season, but I told you guys, I got a good relationship with Adidas, so I never want to sever that relationship with them. The kit this year are the worst because it's the same template. Yeah, I don't think it's going to look any different. Is this a safe space? Guys? When can United go back to Nike? Honest question. When can United go back to Nike? I love Adidas. Shout out to the Adidas family. They always give me boots. For football, so I appreciate them. They always invite me to events, but 2035? What? Damn. 2032. That's a long time away. Yo, that is a long... Yo, we need to strap in then. Guys, I don't even... I started buying Adidas trainers recently because I would go to events with Adidas and they'd say that you can't wear like rival shoes. They want me to come barefoot because all I own is Nike trainers. So I had to start buying Adidas, or when I go to events, they gift me Adidas trainers. But the last time they gifted me Adidas trainers, one of my siblings took it. Or did I give it to them? I think I gave it to them because my sibling complimented my shoes, so I just put it in the box and I gave it to her. You can't wear any rival gear at any event. So even like if I go to Champions League, when I went to the Champions League final, because Adidas sponsored the Champions League, I couldn't wear anything that was a rival of Adidas. I think I wore my Yeezys that day. But you can't wear Nike, anything that's visibly Nike. You can't wear it. Some people still do it, but out of respect to the brand, I don't think you should do it. I knew this is about your Jordans. No, honestly, it's so tough, man. Unless they want me to start turning up in Predators. They want me to turn up in football boots. Imagine me coming to an event and all you can hear is click, 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 because I'm wearing football boots because I ain't got any other trainers. But anyway, I got a pair of Adidas crepes now, so I wear those to Adidas events. And then same with Nike. When I go to Nike events, I just wear Nikes because I own hundreds of Nikes. I work at Adidas. It's the first thing you're told when you walk into the building. What Adidas do you work in? Out of curiosity. You get discount? Out of curiosity. Just, I'm quite curious. Mina Defa wears Sunday shin pads. No comment. Listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. The HQ in Germany. I only know people that work for the UK HQ. I don't know people that work at the main HQ in Germany. Do you play football? Yes, I do. Not professionally, not competitively. I just kick about twice a week with my friends. That's it. But I'm hoping, my dream, guys, this season is to play on a professional, on a Premier League pitch. So Old Trafford, Wembley. I know a few who work in the England offices. You might know the same people I know. You might know the same people I know. So yeah, I play football like twice a week, and Adidas actually sent someone I knew at Adidas. Shout out to my guy Marcus, because I needed a new pair of boots because I only had an old pair. And basically, I just messaged him and was like, hey, I need a pair of boots. Can you help me? He said, what size are you? I said, I'm a 6.5 in football boots, or a 7 if I size up. And then he literally that evening, I got a delivery at my door with a pair of Predators. And then a couple of weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago, I went to an Adidas event and they were gifting Predators again. So I got 2 pairs of Predators, which is crazy because growing up, I would only wear Nikes on the pitch. I never played on grass that you can slide on with your knees. Looks like magic to me every time. My brain can't compute it. I think sliding on normal grass is probably better than artificial grass. I don't know. I'm trying to think which one is better to slide on. What's your trademark celebration? I don't score often, guys. I don't score often. So if I do score, I'm gonna do something stupid. Because I play in midfield, but like sitting, like I'm a sitting central midfielder. So like when I do play like on Fridays and Sundays, I'm always the person that's sitting in front of the two centre backs. Just basically side to side, up and down. That's it. I don't take shots from long distance. The only time I go up is for corners because I'm quite tall. So they always tell me come up for corners. So I come up for corners. Mina don't run, so she ain't scoring. I do run, but I hate running too much. Like one time I went to play football, 2-hour session. We were playing 9-a-side on it was quite a big pitch that we were playing on. And I had just eaten a plate of pasta and prawns, yeah. Probably like 20 minutes before I went football. Guys, I actually nearly vomited. That's when I learned my mistake of eating before playing football. And running. That's the most important part. Running non-stop. How tall are you? 178. The last time I got measured, I was 178. Not beans. Who the flip would eat beans before football, man? Don't do that to your teammates. Your poor teammates. Your poor teammates. I was meant to play on the pitch at Wembley at the end of after the Champions League final last year, but they just PlayStation didn't have enough numbers, unfortunately, so I couldn't. But I hope I can do it this year if I go to the Champions League final with them. Or even like, I know like a lot of brands do it after the season. So Man United would do it. Adidas will do it at Manchester United, etc., etc. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just talk like about random stuff, guys. Sometimes it's good. You know what I was gonna do? I'm waiting to get to 20K. When I get to 20K, I will do like a long Q&A kind of stream, like not football related, but like, you know, like be able to talk about anything and everything. I'm not that far off. I'm about 7K off. Forget about United, bro. Book the hotel to Bilbao. Bilbao or Munich. I don't know which one I would rather go to. Would I rather go to, if Man United are not in the Europa League final, would I rather go to Europa League final or Champions League final? I'd rather go to the Champions League final because it's in Munich. I've never been to Germany. Where's the Women's Champions League final this year? Where's the Women's Champions? It's in Lisbon. I would love to go. You know what? I'd love to go to the Women's Champions League final because that's in Lisbon. I've never been there. Germany is dead. I've never been Germany. To be honest, in Europe, I've only been to France. I've been to Italy. I've been to Belgium. Yeah, I've never been to the Netherlands. I've never been to Germany. I've never been to Spain, but I'm planning to go to Spain this year. I mean, I haven't been getting notifications for your streams. I know YouTube is playing. They don't want me to win, but also I think it's because I went like a whole month without streaming consistently, and so it just messed up with my it messed up the algorithm, unfortunately. Sammy Mockbell from the BBC, by the way, has just confirmed that Joshua Zirkzee is out for the rest of the season. It will miss several weeks with a hamstring injury that could rule him out for the remainder of the season. So we collectively have to watch Rasmus Højlund for like the next 5 weeks. Should we have a minute of silence, guys? Should we have a minute of silence? Because what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Is Turkey considered Europe? Yes and no. It's not part of the EU, if I'm not wrong, but it is classed as Europe as part of like the Euros and all of that. It's Europe / Middle East. Like it's like bang in the middle, I guess. That look was crazy. No, guys, should we actually have a minute of silence? Let's start now. Guys, that was the longest 1 minute silence of my life. Oh my god. You know me, I talk too much, guys. Oh my god, that was the longest 1 minute silence of my life. Damn. God damn. I hope we don't have to do that again. Please, no one else get injured. No one of importance. No one of importance, please don't get injured again. Don't, please. Mina, when you come into America, do I want to visit America right now with everything that's happening over there? America's always been on my bucket list, but the thought of getting absolutely terrorized at airport security, it's not for me, man. It's not for me. My name on my passport, they're gonna see my name, they're gonna see my face, they're gonna be like, yo, We got a special room for you to interrogate you in. Let's go. And also, I've been to like countries I think that's on the ban list. So, you know, I can't. And if I travel with anyone, my whole family, etc., their passports say that they were born in our home country, which is on the ban list. So it just causes problems, man. Just come to Senegal instead, Mina. I'd love to come to Senegal. Senegal, Gambia, Mali, all of those places, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, they're all on my bucket list. Time for a random check. I'm not being funny, guys. Yeah, I've traveled in an airport so much. Yeah, I have never in my life gone through airport security, whether it's in the UK, probably only when I went to Malaysia and in Muslim countries like the UAE and Saudi, etc. But I've never been through airport security and not been stopped, if that makes sense. I always get stopped. I will go through, my bags will go through the security, and my laptop and watch and phone and everything. You know, that tray, it will get taken aside, it will get searched, and I will go through the barriers and I'll get checked every single time, without a doubt. And if I'm traveling with my mum, like I feel sorry for my mum sometimes traveling with her, because she wears the whole Islamic thing. So, but I always tell the security, yo, you better watch how you talk to my mum. And also, do you know what I realized, guys? Also, airport staff, yeah, when someone doesn't speak English, they think that they can be rude to them. But the second they have someone with them that speaks English, it's like suddenly like, oh, sorry, I'll beat you up, you know. Anyways, don't come to Germany. Yeah. You know what? That's the thing. If I go to Champions League, I'm actually kind of worried about going there as somebody that wears a headscarf. I am a bit worried about that. I'm not gonna lie. You know the automatic scanners in the airports with passport control. It never works. I can't go through it. Me and everyone I travel with all the time, we can't go through it because our names just get flagged up. And one day, someone at the security barriers at the airport in Heathrow said that because you've got common Muslim names, it just gets flagged up and you've got to go to an actual desk. But God forbid I travel and I'm in, bro, when I go to the UAE, when I go to Saudi, wow. They see my British passport, but before they see my British passport, they see my headscarf. And they're so nice to me. And it's only when I go home I get treated like crap at the airport. So I can't imagine what America would be like. Like, honestly. Malaysia, I got treated nice. Mina, you ready for playoff basketball? Don't you think your Lakers would do well because you don't have recognized center? You know what? I was having this debate with someone the other day against Timberwolves. They were saying that Rudy Gobert might actually have fun against the Lakers. I don't think so. I think small ball will kill him and it will kill the Timberwolves. With saying that though, for me it's like it's conference finals or nothing. Like Lakers have to make the conference finals. And somebody was asking me the other day in the chat if I got a Luka Doncic jersey yet. I don't. But I'm waiting for him to sign a long-term deal. Once he signs a long-term deal, then I will get a Luka Doncic jersey. At the moment, I still got a LeBron one that I don't really wear. I got quite a lot of Kobe ones. But I'm ready for playoff basketball. And because I got NBA League Pass, that's the best thing ever. Even if I miss the game, I can watch it back, the full game. You know, game 1 is at 1:30 on Saturday night after midnight. So going into Sunday, which I probably will be able to watch. Depending on, I should be able to watch that. But even if I'm not able to watch that, I can watch the condensed version. That's about 25 minutes. Or I can watch the whole game back on NBA League Pass. But I'm going Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. I do think there's some good matchups across all the brackets, though. I do think there's some good matchups. Are you singing those LeBron James songs? No, I haven't. I actually haven't. Listen, guys, I got to wrap it up, man. Listen, what we got coming later today, we will have match reactions after the Champions League. Inshallah, both Villa versus PSG and Barca versus Dortmund. Tomorrow as well, we have Daily Dose of Mina. And then we also have reactions dropping for Champions League games. Inter versus Bayern. Excuse excuse me, and Arsenal, of course, versus Real Madrid. Then we got streams coming throughout the week. What we got coming? We got Daily Dose Thursday, Friday, etc. We've got reaction video after the Lyon game on Thursday. Another reaction video after the Wolves game on Sunday, and we'll just see what content comes in between then and now. Maybe might do an FC25 stream. I haven't been playing FC25 much lately. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a pretty decent game. And of course, I've been playing Verdansk. But I know that I got a career mode that I never got around to finishing. So if you lot want me to continue that over the next couple of weeks, let me know. But I just, FC25. I love EA Sports, but it's just been a tough game to play. I do play actually Madden. I've been playing Madden a lot. And I also always play NBA 2K as well. But FC25 is just... yeah, it's not been it. But listen, guys, hit the like button on your way out, especially for this impromptu stream, if you want to say that. We're not that far off from 100. So if you haven't hit the like button on your way out, be sure to hit... is there anyone live right now? Let me see if there's anyone live. Me and my 60 people there. Nope, I can't see anybody live. Nah, no one's live. All right, hit the like button on your way out, guys, and make sure you turn on your post notifications so that when I post a video later this evening, you will get notified. I hope you lot have a wonderful evening. Big up to all of you lot. I'm out, guys. Stay blessed. Peace.